Hey guys, Chris here. So right behind me we have the 2020 Land Rover Defender 110, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys a tour of this car on the exterior and on the interior. Before we start off this video, a huge thanks to Motorpool for providing me with this Land Rover Defender for testing and giving you guys this exterior and interior tour. Motorpool are an authorized Land Rover and Jaguar dealer right outside of Oslo in Billingstad, Asker. So if you're looking for a new Land Rover or Jaguar, please go ahead and check their website in the description box down below. And if you're new to the channel, guys, my name is Chris and I do car videos, so please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Starting off with the exterior, this color is called Pangea Green. It's like a light green color. It's really cool actually, and this also has the black pack, giving it black accents on the mirrors, and also has the black contrasting roof. So just everything's blacked out here on the side of Defender. You have this body cladding on the bottom, of course, that goes all across the whole width of the car. It has privacy glass, darked out windows, and you also have this panel here. This might look a bit weird, but this is actually for attaching off-road equipment. So you can attach a ladder, a lot of things you can attach on this car, which is actually really cool. So as you can see, this is a huge car at about 1.99 meters tall, 2 meters tall. So yeah, I look like a midget next to this car. It is huge, and you can see it also has this really high ground clearance. It's actually taller or more ground clearance than on the old classic Defender. And this being the 110 is the long wheelbase with 5 doors. You can also get this as the 90 with 3 doors. So in long wheelbase form like this 110, it's 4.75 meters tall. This also has air suspension. You can see massive gaps here for these large wheels, but air suspension meaning you can raise the ride height even more, and you can also lower it for more efficiency and also for regress and ingress. These are actually 20-inch wheels, Scorpion Zero SUV tires, and yeah, they don't look too big because of the massive wheel wells, but yeah, I'm assured you that these are quite the large wheels. And you also have this air intake, or on the other side it's an air intake, but yeah, I don't know if this is real or whatever it is, but it has cool Defender badging there on the side. Then we have the front end with the big, bold Defender on the hood. I think that looks really cool, and I think these are black with the black pack. You have more black details here, the Land Rover badge offset to the left here, and then you also have these brand new LED headlights with the LED rings there, and also these squares here on the side. I think that looks very cool. The housing is black also. I think this is all part of the black pack, and on top of here you also have, this is actually plastic, guys, but this is an homage to the old Land Rover Defenders, which had metal plates, aluminum plates on top of the bonnet, but these are just plastic. And yeah, you have this massive air intake here. You have a camera, and you also have quite a steep approach angle with this car having a very short overhang. You also have fog lights down here, and you have more of that silver cladding here in the front. I think the front looks really cool and menacing here on the Defender. Then we have the rear end of the car, and the first thing that you see, the first apparent thing, is the full-size spare wheel on the tailgate here. It's huge, guys, and up there you can see there is actually the reversing camera. I think there isn't any other place to put it. Maybe they could have put it up here, but yeah, putting up there also in the antenna housing is really cool. And this also has some really cool taillights. These squares here, rounded off squares, I think they look very cool and very retro. Defender 240, this is a diesel SE trim, and it is also a van conversion. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute. But yeah, you have also more of that silver cladding here on the bottom, and you also have an electric trailer hitch there. Blacked out details here. You have your third brake light down there, and I think the rear end looks quite cool here actually. So I said this is a van conversion, and this is something we do here in Norway because of we have purchase taxes, quite high purchase taxes on some cars, which is based on CO2 emissions and the weight of the car. So if you convert these cars to a van, which you can do with some of these cars, there are certain requirements. The cargo room in the back has to be a certain height and width and length, and a certain space capacity. But then the car gets these green license plates. That means it's a van conversion. So we're going to open up the trunk here, which opens on a sideway hinge, and this thing is very heavy. And as you can see here, yeah, no back seats at all. This is just a cargo capacity. It's huge back here, so for builders and for people cargoing stuff, this is a very practical car because this thing is huge. So the rear seats are hidden behind down here, but you can't use them. You can see this cage behind me that is set up, a permanent installation. This being a van conversion, I can only show you guys the front seats because, as I said, this doesn't have any rear seats. But starting off with the cabin here, and at first glance, I did a review of this car, actually a test drive in my previous video. So if you want to check that out, link in the description down below. But yeah, I talk a bit about the interior at first glance not being the most luxurious or high quality. But that is at first glance. It looks a bit utilitarian, but once you start, touching the materials and using the switchgear, everything feels of really high quality. It has this fabric, I call it like a wetsuit fabric on top of the dashboard here. You also have massive grab handles here. You can grab when entering, and you can also grab here on this side. So yeah, they really thought about it. You can even grip the dashboard here and also the center console here. But it has this fabric here, which it reminds me of a wetsuit fabric actually. So you have it here on the dashboard, here on the dashboard, here on the center console, and also on the armrest. This has a traditional 4-spoke steering wheel, which I'm a huge fan of. You have your radar guided cruise control buttons here on the right side, and then you have your audio controls on the left side. This also has a digital gauge cluster, which is very beautiful. And you also have this 10-inch infotainment screen, ultra wide screen that works very well. It has 360 cameras, backup cameras, off-road cameras. It's really easy to use, and I think the navigation system here is one of the smoothest I've used in recent memory. Up here you also have like this rubberized finish on top of here. You also have a center speaker. This car is equipped with the Meridian sound system, the base Meridian sound system. Sounds really awesome. You have the shifter here, an 8-speed auto, and this 240D. This is a 2-liter diesel 4-cylinder, 8-speed auto. So the shifter placement here I think is really practical. It's high up in the cabin, so it doesn't take any space. It's also really easy to use and practically placed. And then you have the starter button right next to that. In the center here you have the terrain response system combined with the HVAC system. So you have dials to turn the temperatures up and down. You can also press to access the seat heaters or the seat coolers, and then you turn the knob to adjust the temperature of the seat heaters, and then you press the knob again to go back to the climate control settings. So I think it's a really nice use of real estate. You also have the terrain response. You can lower and raise the suspension. You can also go into the different off-road modes. So this has eco, comfort, and then you have all these different types of off-road modes. So this is an off-road and comfort-oriented vehicle. You have this massive center storage here also with this huge center armrest here with here you can it just swallows stuff. And then you also have some place here for your phone, and then you have 2 cup holders here, and then you have this massive storage down here below. You have USB-C ports, you have USB B ports, you also have 12-volt outlets. So you have a lot of options here for charging devices. And also these seats are like a faux leather and a part fabric. This is the SE mid-trim, so it's not the most luxurious version. You also have room behind the infotainment screen here, so it's floating here on the dashboard. I think the integration works really well. And then you have Defender here inside of the passenger side on the dashboard. You also have more ports here, USB chargers. Yeah, and you have your huge door bin. So this cabin is huge. You can see I'm sitting here. You have massive room. You have a huge, not that wasn't too huge, that glove box, but you have massive room here. It feels very truck-like in the positive sense of the word, but driving wise, it doesn't feel like a truck. It feels like a truck in a positive way, but also like a car. And in here it feels like a truck, but you have the high quality materials. I mean, everything you touch basically is high quality materials. It doesn't look super luxurious, but it feels really high quality. So there you go, guys. That was my exterior and interior tour of this, the 2020 Land Rover Defender 110. If you enjoyed today's video, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, guys, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.